Well, this puts a smile on my face. Here today, we're going to do random wrestling talk about some news and rumors going on in professional wrestling. The story I'd like to talk about right now is about the relationship with WWE and ESPN having problems with one another. This puts a smile on my fucking face, guys. I hope that ESPN finds a way out of this. Because they gave up. This is no joke. They gave up their relationship with UFC so they could have WWE's PLE events on their ESPN paywall for unlimited for $29.99 a month. And I'll tell you what, folks, be straight up honest with you. If it wasn't for the fact there's other things on ESPN that I enjoy watching, like basketball, football, things of that sort, I wouldn't even have paid $29.99 a month because, quite frankly, WWE alone with just PLEs is not worth $30 fucking dollars. Just being straight up honest. I'm getting WrestleMania this year for $30. You think if I wasn't watching ESPN for other reasons like the NBA, you think I'd be watching that shit? You think I'd pay $30 for just WWE PLEs alone? Folks, I got to admit, AEW Revolution is looking better than WWE's WrestleMania. That's sad. I'm more pumped and excited because I know I'm going to be given the best quality wrestling known to man on Revolution. What am I getting with WrestleMania? Lackluster build? No care whatsoever? Rinse and repeat of the same old shit? And oh yeah, a WrestleMania that won't even feel like a fucking WrestleMania. I mean shit, I think WrestleMania 9 will probably be better than this year's WrestleMania for all we know. Having fucking Doink the Clown and Crush. I mean, these are guys from back in the mid-90s. The mid-90s. That had terrible fucking wrestling gimmicks. Had no characters. They were just fucking clowns, basically, without the makeup. That's what we got back in those days. You know what I was watching back in those days? Outside of Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Vader, and The Undertaker, and a few other guys, Razor Ramon, and Diesel. Outside of those guys, you think I was watching for the other wrestlers that were there? Fuck no. I did not watch that shit for those other guys. I didn't give a flying crap. I was watching WCW when I was a kid. I liked Hulk Hogan. I liked Randy Savage. I loved Sting. I loved the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. That's what I was watching when I was in my younger years. Then we got to 1997. Don't get me wrong, I was still watching WWF. I was watching WWF even when they were shit, but if you had Nitro and WWF back then running up against each other, woo, buddy, I'd taken WCW Nitro every fucking time. That's for damn sure. Not until 1997. At 97, that's when I was really starting to see some good stuff from it. And it was because of Stone Cold Steve Austin. But I was watching WWF, don't get me wrong, but not as prominent as WCW at that time. Because they had all the great stars that used to be in WWF. So that's what I watched. Now, getting away from all the nostalgia bullshit, let's get to reality, the here and the now. Let me read you this story, because this is absolutely fucking hilarious, and I hope ESPN drops their ass like a bad habit at some point, if they even have that ability to do so in their contract that they set up with WWE. So, all this is according to Sports Insider Blake Avion on X, who claims sources have described that the relationship as a DNA mismatch, meaning that they're not seeing eye to eye to things. So basically, WWE's transition into the network ecosystem hasn't been seamless. One person described it as a DNA mismatch, adding that WWE's leadership has yet to make a unified push to correct the shortcomings of their program. Because they just don't give a fuck. They got their fucking money. They don't give a shit. Just like all the idiots that go ahead, and I'm sorry to say that to you guys. To anyone that has gone out since these prices have skyrocketed and gone out and be foolish enough to buy those tickets, I'm sorry to call you an idiot, but you are being an idiot. Stop being one. Save your money. Do it for something else better. Go see if you want to spend that kind of money, go see a UFC event if you like UFC. You like boxing, go watch boxing for that kind of price. Go watch something that is not predetermined. This is theater sports. This is not legitimate. Okay? It's just fun enjoyment. Seeing guys do very athletic shit. But they're not in there to win a match for themselves. They're there to execute a show for you. And that's fine and dandy, but I'm not paying an outrageous amount of money for the same thing I could spend for a genuine results to an event that I'm going to see like UFC or boxing. Fucking NBA, the NFL. Those are genuine results. Now people will say, well, that shit's scripted too. Okay, fine. You want to believe that? You can believe that all you want. You have the right to do that. And you might be right about that. I don't know. And until that's proven, I'm going to assume that it's real. Okay? But we know damn well wrestling is predetermined. Now, why in the fuck would you want to go out there and spend an overinflated price for a show that's theater sports? That's what you're watching. Now, how authentic they try to make it depends on them. But even though they tried even to make it look authentic, which they don't, obviously, why the hell would you still even want to go out and spend money for predetermined results that don't mean shit? It's stupid. I mean, it does mean something to the fan when it comes to character building and all that shit. But at the end of the day, guys, the shit is predetermined. Do not spend your money for overinflated prices. If you can stomach AEW, that's a show you go see a fucking wrestling event to, and you spend your money for it. Now, if you're not a fan of AEW, then yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't spend my money on something I don't like. But shit, AEW is at least considerate to their customer when it comes to the pricing of these seats. I saw on Dynamite last night, no fucking joke, I saw a person hold a sign that said I didn't have to give up my kidney to buy a ticket to see this show tonight. I'm like, what the fuck? This is what this company WWE does. They take money from other platforms. And I've been saying this, guys, on this channel. I've been saying this for years now. I do not understand where the fuck these people are having the mindset to spend all this money so they can gain access to the rights of this promotion to get nothing back in return for it. And they know damn well they will get nothing back. Outside of USA, WWE, every fucking time one contract for a multi-year deal comes up, they are never re-signed by those people. Fox did not want nothing to do with them. They saw no value in them. They were bringing nothing to the table, and they let them go like a bad habit. That's a really bad business relationship. And Fox is one of ESPN's competitors when it comes to sports, right? Okay, so why in the fuck would ESPN want to even just... They didn't even want the whole entire enchilada. They just wanted the PL... Why the fuck would you want the PLEs? You think they're going to give you a fucking outrageous value for your buck? You think people are going to praise this shit? Us wrestling fans are being told by the wrestlers to shut the fuck up. I mean, come on, wake up, people. Is everybody living underneath a rock or something? And the funny thing is, this kind of mentality runs throughout everything, in all things, not even just professional wrestling, in real life. People are all living under a fucking rock. Dumb as shit, soft as jelly, man. Fucking can't take a remark and go keep on moving. They sit there and bellyache in a corner and cry. Ooh. These wrestlers are sitting there bitching about the fans. Motherfucker, you wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for the fans. Have you guys forgotten that? I used to remember growing up as a kid through high school, and they used to say this shit throughout 2003. You could go back to the Raw 10th anniversary, and they stated this multiple times on this show. If you can even find it, I don't know if you can. They said, there is one thing we will say, without you guys, we are nothing. And I felt very appreciated when I was a fan. And now as a fan, I feel very undermined. I feel like a second-class citizen. And I feel like as if they're a bunch of succubus. And if I'm stupid enough, they'll suck every fucking dime I have. Like a gosh darn slot machine. I don't know which is worse, the slot machine or them. I think they probably worse than a slot machine. At least with a slot machine, you're not throwing outrageous amounts of overinflated prices that you can't fucking afford unless you choose to be dumb enough to keep playing until you have nothing left in your fucking checking account. But me, spending $5,000 plus to sit in a shitty seat way back on the floors, looking at fucking Titantron screens that I could be seeing the same thing at home? No thanks. I'll save my money, thank you. Because guess what? What I paid for was third row. I've said this multiple times. Third row for two seats. Two seats for $5,000. So that means I paid for just myself and a friend $2,500 a piece to sit in the third row on the fucking floor. You can literally see me at Royal Rumble 2024. Go back and watch it. I'm in the right-hand corner where the turnbuckle is when the camera is panned on the ring. I am wearing a backwards Cowboys hat, Dallas Cowboys hat that's dark blue. You see me a couple of times standing up, I'm smiling and having a good time and all that. And yeah, I will admit, I had a good time watching the damn show. I really did. I had a blast. When I went back and watched it, I thought the show was fucking boring. So as a fan being there, it was fun. Not being there and watching it at home, boring as shit. I watched that back at least once or twice, and I got to admit, the show was fucking boring as hell. I had more interest in seeing myself on screen than watching the fucking show itself on a replay. So, it is what it is. But let's continue, huh? This is real funny shit. I'm enjoying myself right now. So basically, that there's an unease, according to another source, extends beyond disruption. Early WrestleMania 42 ticket movement hasn't inspired confidence. They said, so they're not very happy with the ticket sales on WrestleMania. They're not happy with what's been going on with the shows individually, production value-wise, on everything else. And I don't blame ESPN, but they're fucking stupid. Why the fuck would you give your money to this shit? You could have forked out your money and gave enough consideration to UFC where you allow the fans to watch on ESPN to watch the UFC pay-per-view events for $29.99. You could have forced people to go ahead and pay $29.99 a month to have the inclusion of the pay-per-view events to watch every single month and never miss the pay-per-view events, or otherwise they can stay at the same subscription and pay $80 every single time they want to watch a specific pay-per-view that they're interested in. They could have done that with their audience. I wouldn't have lost UFC over. Are you fucking serious? I would have stuck with UFC every fucking time. 10 out of 10 times. Are you kidding? Every fucking event I have watched with UFC, I've been entertained. I enjoy what I watch. I am an MMA fan. I enjoy watching the product. It is a fun show. Yeah, there's no storylines and all that. Their storylines are developed by the fighters themselves and what they have to say and their true interactions and feelings towards one another. That's the story. And them going in there and knocking the other opponent's face clean off, or breaking their arm, or choking them out. Okay? That's what you go and you spend your money on, the same kind of prices you spend on a WWE event. You ain't getting genuine results. Who the fuck needs to pay that kind of price? You could go to your local indie show and spend for fucking $30 a ticket to sit front row and watch a wrestling event. You don't need to go out and spend all your fucking hard-earned money that you kill yourself at the job you can't stomach. The fuck's wrong with you? Wake up, man. And I'm not saying this to be insulting. I'm saying it to wake your ass up. Stop being foolish. These people do not care about you. They don't even care about the people that buy the fucking rights to their freaking company. They don't give a shit about nobody but them. You mean nothing. The people that, the ESPN, Fox, USA, they don't give a shit what they have to say. Netflix either. They don't give a fuck. And that's why eventually that attitude that they got is going to lead them to a dark road, into a dark tunnel, and straight into the abyss, where no one's going to fucking care they exist ever again. And I can't wait for that to happen. I'm praying for it. I want them to go the fuck away. They don't deserve what they are getting from these fans, nor the people they are getting, like ESPN, paying for this shit. Do I feel bad for them? Absolutely not. Because they don't give a fuck about us either. They just care about making their money. But you're investing your money into this product. You should expect a return on the investment, and you're not getting that. And us fans, we're getting the same difference, and we're getting our eyes gorged out of our fucking heads. And we don't even make money off of what they do that's successful. So it doesn't mean continental shit to us. But at least if we're paying the money to go watch the fucking event, at least we got some sort of goodness out of it. But, I mean, give me a fucking break, bro. Anyway. So just to continue early, WrestleMania 42 ticket movement hasn't inspired confidence. They said, viewing it as the sign the current strategy may not be landing as intended. ESPN and WWE also announced that the first hour of WrestleMania 42 will air live on ESPN's linear channels before shifting to unlimited. So they are trying everything they can, like Netflix did with a crossover with Stranger Things, like Netflix did. They're doing basically the same thing with WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, hoping, praying that people will go ahead and tune into this shit so that their investment is met, or at least they see some value out of it. Let me tell you, folks, I don't think anyone gives a flying fuck about Night 1 and Night 2's first hour being aired on ESPN, on regular cable television. I am sure that there's people out there that love sports, have the ESPN Unlimited app without even thinking about it. They don't need WrestleMania shoved in their face to make them go, maybe I ought to go subscribe to the ESPN Unlimited channel or the Unlimited app. They're not fucking thinking that. They already got it, you dumb motherfuckers. They got ESPN Unlimited. Maybe because they ain't got cable right now, which is my issue. I ain't got cable. I don't use cable. Well, actually, I do have cable through Spectrum, but it's mostly used for internet. And that's because of the apartment I live in. They force you to have the internet and the cable service at the same time for $40 a month, which is not bad at all. I'm not complaining. But you don't get ESPN with what you got, so you have to upgrade to a higher tier on Spectrum to get all the channels, especially like ESPN. So, I mean, like, I ain't fucking doing that. Might as well just pay the $29.99 a month and as a separate thing and get my internet service for $40 a month, because through this apartment, I was paying like $69.99 for internet. So I'm not going to complain to have some fucking cable, a joked out cable service with little mounts of dinky channels to have to watch. It's kind of stupid, but you know, it is what it is. But I'm telling you what, there's nobody in their right fucking mind, just because they got an hour of WrestleMania on night 1 and night 2, is going to go ahead and go, oh, I need to buy the ESPN Unlimited app. It's very important so I can watch WrestleMania. Anyone that's a wrestling fan who's willing to pay for the shit, which I don't know why you would, for $30 a month to watch just the PLE. I could understand if ESPN had all access to everything of WWE's content, like Netflix does right now, because basically Netflix has all the content of everything on there except for WCW and ECW. I mean, they haven't added any of the Monday Night Raw episodes. They haven't added the SmackDown episodes, because SmackDown's still on the Peacock, which is eventually going to be closing up in about a week or so, on March 16th. So that's going away very soon. So probably more than likely SmackDown's going to Netflix. They probably won't add any of the new episodes, more than likely. Or the old episodes at all. So it's not going to fucking matter. It's like it didn't even exist. So it is what it is, you know? But anyway. So basically, the move is actually designed to broaden exposure, like I said. But like I said before that, more than likely, people are not going to care. Just my prediction. Not a spoiler. But one that also underscores the evolving nature of the new distribution model. Yeah. Separately, TKO reported restriction on nearby venue watch party broadcasts. Yeah, that's a funny one. Was characterized by one source as a self-inflicted deterrent. The source argued the policy undercuts the very FOMO effect live events thrive on. If price-sensitive fans opted to watch night 1 locally and the show delivered, the thinking goes organic buzz and fear of missing out could have driven incremental ticket sales for night 2. Instead, limiting nearby broadcasts may suppress that spillover demand. The same person also pointed to the rising costs of WWE fandom and what they describe as Mark Shapiro's growing disconnect from the everyday WWE consumer, which is exactly true. They are so fucking disconnected from its fans. They don't care that the average Joe fan that wants to go see the event live, they don't want them. You're nothing to them. You're shit. You don't make them any money. They want the rich folk. The rich folk that want to watch these events. The only one problem, you're then cutting into the 1%, the people that actually have a shit ton of fucking money. I mean, you had fucking Dwight Howard. No joke. Watched it on Bobby Monsoon's channel. Never checked his channel out? Good. If you haven't, go watch Bobby Monsoon. Guy's great. He's a little bit bigger than mine. Actually, quite bigger than mine. Mine, I've been lackluster. I haven't put so much effort into it. I do this for a hobby. I enjoy myself when I talk shit about this company because it's fucking crap. But he went ahead and he pointed out a video that he saw on social media of Dwight Howard sitting there watching a Monday Night Raw show that he went to for his kids and didn't know a single wrestler, including Cody fucking Rhodes. He didn't even know who Cody Rhodes was. He looked at his kids and said, "Who's that guy everybody's cheering for?" They go, "You don't know who that is?" He goes, "No, I don't know who it is." I'm like, what? What are you at the show for if you don't know who fucking Cody Rhodes is, of all people? He's one of the biggest names in the company. He's like their John Cena of today. Are you kidding? Then he goes ahead and he's booing a random character that's a heel, and he's booing him. And his son looked at him and says, "Do you know who that guy is?" And he goes, "No, I don't know him, but I don't like him. He's a bad dude." And he's booing him. You don't even know why he's a heel. You don't know anything about his background of who he is as a character. What the fuck are you doing there outside of WWE gave you a fucking ticket for free to watch so that they could pose you on television to show, hey, Dwight Howard came to WWE show, making people think he's actually a fan of wrestling. He ain't a fan of shit. He's there for a free ride to go watch a show. That's all that shit is. He got to meet The Undertaker. The Undertaker was the only person he knew. He didn't even give a fuck about Triple H. Apparently, he didn't even know who Triple H was. Must have stopped watching before Triple H even became a thing. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Probably the only guys that he knows that was wrestling at the time he was watching wrestling, maybe, is all dead. From your Macho Man Randy Savage to your Hulk Hogan's, well, you probably would know who Ric Flair is, obviously. He's still alive. Your Ultimate Warriors, your Hulk Hogan's, your Randy Savages. I mean, he probably only knew those type of guys. Your Rowdy Pipers. Those are probably the only guys he knew. If they were still actually able to wrestle, but obviously they can't and they're no longer here. So, I mean, like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Get real. So anyway, the WWE and ESPN relationship formally launched last September with WrestlePalooza beginning a 5-year deal with WWE's PLEs to be exclusive to ESPN in the United States, netting WWE somewhere in the region of $325 per year. I think they're referring to $325 million per year for the next 5 years. That's a pretty nice chunk load of money. Let's go ahead and actually see how much that is for a total of 5 years. That should be very interesting. I'd say about 15 billion fucking dollars probably. So let's see here. $325 million a year for 5 years. You are looking at $1.625 billion. So $1,625,000,000 a year for the whole 5 years. They got $1.6 billion. Are you fucking kidding me? For that shit. That's what you're investing your money in? You couldn't invest that kind of money into the UFC? Are you serious? I am so happy the UFC's on Paramount Plus. I think UFC is successful. I don't think UFC's shit. I think they're doing far better than this shit. Honestly. Maybe I'm wrong. I would have to go and research it. But just by seeing the crowds, and the amount of people that are there to see the events, it seems to me people are interested. At least from my point of view. So they continue on. Somewhat ironically, TKO president and CEO Mark Shapiro has since questioned ESPN's pricing model, suggesting that impacting WWE's audience, particularly low-income earners. Of course, this comes at the same time when WWE tickets are at an all-time high price. So they're questioning ESPN? Let me read that back again. Yeah, he's questioning ESPN's pricing model? Motherfucker, I can afford $29.99 a month if you were actually giving me a good fucking product to watch every month. I'd be willing to pay $29.99 a month to watch a pay-per-view event. Shit, I mean, back in the day when you were in the pay-per-view model, you were paying $59.99 a month if you wanted to watch the damn event. My ass was not paying no $59.99 a month for fucking wrestling. Are you kidding? Paying for the big events, you know, like the Royal Rumble, the Survivor Series, if it was a decent Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. That's what I'd pay for that shit for. The B-level pay-per-views, waiting a month and wait for it to come out on a hard copy and buy it on DVD at that time. At that point in time. Or watch it for free on a pirate site, you know? But to fucking sit there and pay $59.99 a month for that? No, thank you. $29.99 a month? Okay, I would be willing to pay that if your product was worth a continental shit, which it isn't. And the only reason why, again, like I said, the only reason why I'm paying for it is because there's other options besides just WWE. So they get a pass, and I pay for it anyway because I like watching college football. I like watching the NBA. I like watching Monday Night Football games. Instead of watching it on my tablet, I can watch it on my fucking TV set. Because on NFL Plus, to watch the games live, you have to watch it on a tablet or your phone. And I'm not doing that. And I don't have regular cable. And I don't feel like paying the extra money to have regular cable. Now, if I did, I would say goodbye to ESPN Plus because or ESPN Unlimited, because what's the point in having that when you can see the same exact things that are aired on regular television? They're just mirroring images of the same fucking thing. It's only for ESPN Unlimited is for people who don't have access to ESPN through cable service. Because they probably don't want to have cable and pay for all that shit. Because it's overpriced. So, there you go. But he has the gall to say that ESPN is he's questioning ESPN's pricing model to their customers. But then in the same breath, Mark Shapiro is charging us fans who want to go see these events. Shit, you don't think I'd want, if I had the money to go see a WrestleMania in Las Vegas, and they didn't have an outrageous high price, and it was similar to what it was at the Royal Rumble 2 years ago, you don't think I'd go? I fucking would. As long, circumstances of like health and whatnot is going fine, then yeah, I would fucking go without blinking an eye. I went to Vegas. I had a fucking blast with my wife. My wife has suggested recently, hey, you want to go see WrestleMania? We can go back to Vegas? Because she loved her fucking time there. I said, fuck no, what are you, crazy? She looked at me like I was nuts. I told her, you want to spend $10,000 a seat to sit in the fucking front row so you can watch the event? For 2 nights? A pop? Yeah, sure. Good luck with that. You can find a lot of other things to do in Las Vegas that are a lot cheaper than going to WrestleMania. Give me a fucking break. And places in Las Vegas ain't cheap to do. At least in the city-wise. Suburbs, you can find things that are more affordable like they are here in Florida. And Florida's pretty fucking expensive in its own right. But, I mean, like, you gotta be out of your fucking mind to spend this kind of money. I don't know who the fuck is going out there and spending that kind of money, but God bless them. They either have a lot of money that they have saved over many years and waiting for the appropriate time to go see WrestleMania and drop a fucking... I mean, basically, you'd have to put your fucking kidney on the black market to earn enough money to go see this shit. That's how fucking bad this is. I mean, like, this is out of fucking control. Really, it is. But anyway, let's continue. So, they mention about, of course, this comes at the same time when WWE tickets are at an all-time high price, when WrestleMania 42 sales are significantly down on compared to WrestleMania 41 ticket sales. In fact, Shapiro has openly said how Vince McMahon-led WWE wasn't charging enough for tickets, or as Shapiro put it, maxing the opportunity, as indicated by the average WWE TV event ticket being $60 at the time of TKO merger of WWE and UFC in 2023, and those average ticket sale prices raising to $118 in 2025. I think they're referring to 60 million, and then it's risen to 118 million. And that's pretty much the entire story. So there you go, guys. Mark Shapiro's talking out both sides of his ass. He's talking about how ESPN's gouging the customer out of the market for people like us that can't afford to go see their events, while they market us out of being able to pay a ticket to go see it live and in person. Because let me tell you, I would love to go see WrestleMania live. But I can't afford to spend that. I don't see the value in going to spend that kind of money and sit there and spend that kind of... I just can't see it. It's not worth wasting my money for. Even when I got done with the event, I kind of said to myself a little bit, I felt a little bit inside like I could have used this money to do something else. I really did. I felt a little bit of regret, but at the same time I felt like, hey, it was an opportunity. I took it. I had the money for it. It didn't put me behind any financial debt or anything. I was able to pay it all at once because I had the money and the finances to do so. So I was like, fuck it. Take advantage of it. You know, my dad passed away recently during that time. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I need some time to just escape from what recently happened with my dad and just try to enjoy myself. And that's what I did. So that was the reason why I did it. But at the end of the day, when I look back on it, it was just like, it's a good thing I went and did it now, or did it then, because if I wouldn't have never had the opportunity, because I can't afford these prices. I mean, I can afford them. I'd have to do a monthly payment if I got these tickets, but I'd be paying on it for a very long time, and I'm not getting the value that I used to get from this company. And this company has been very bad for the last 16 fucking years. Since 2010, WWE has not been the same. And that's just the way it is. And then you got wrestlers like Jey Uso and Jacob Fatu telling us to shut up and enjoy the show and not complain about it. But that's all I have to say, guys, at this time. You know what to do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.